We had to make sure we had no kafirs on, no Palestinian. That's for sure. You
Mm.
couldn't walk around
Well,
with
isn't the
those.
West Bank
Yeah.
Palestinian territory?
Of course.
Yes, well, they have a very complicated, everything's very, well, it's not complicated. We're stealing the land and we're have a slow genocide going on. So it's not
Yeah.
complicated at all, really. But the Israelis make it as complicated as possible. They have areas A, B, and C. And so much of the West Bank is divided up in those three kinds of areas. And they keep, anytime the Israelis want, they say, oh, this is military zone. And they'll just tell the Palestinians in that area, this is a military zone, you have to get out. It's, you can't travel here anymore. It's really, it's horrible. Uh, I mean, I'm coming away with a feeling, I'm glad I went, um, but it really is bad there. When I was on my own, I got on a Palestinian bus to go to Bethlehem, which is really only a 20-minute drive from Jerusalem. But if you're a Palestinian, it takes you a couple of hours because you have to wait for buses. You get on these crowded buses, you get off, they have checkpoints. How many you have to go through changes from day to day. But sure enough, our bus is stopped. We all have to disembark. We all have to get our IDs completely um, evaluated and looked at. And then before they let us all get back on the bus, and then they let you go to the next checkpoint. It's really, it's insane. None of us would put up with this.
It sounds demeaning.
It's so demeaning. And these are young, these are young soldiers. Do you remember when you were soldiers in your, I don't know, early 20s or late teen, 19, 20-year-olds? They
Mm.
they have such a pride and chutzpah. And I don't want to get down on all Israelis. These are they're Zionists, they're supremacists, and there were some soldiers that you could tell were not comfortable with what they're doing. But look, you have to serve. If you live in Israel, you have to serve. You have to go in. You don't have to. I appreciate those who don't. They're few, but basically you're just funneled into this thing. You're given guns. You're given this training. You're told these people are extremely dangerous. You got to keep your eye on them, and they do, and they really feel the power. Yeah. So just this attitude of superiority, and that's what's really wrong. When I went to on my own, I went to a couple of protective presence camps run by activists, run by Palestinians, but they take internationals in to protect the Bedouin village. Um, Nonviolent. They're all dedicated to nonviolence. It's a difference between what we see here in America and over there. The people doing protective presence are really trained in nonviolent techniques. There's no shouting, cursing, calling people names. They try to practice the preach. And so, yeah, there are Israelis that join these camps. And to me, they're so brave. It gives the settlers pause when they hear someone who knows their lingo, who served in the IDF, speaks Hebrew, and is telling them to stop and not in my name. Those people, to me, are really brave. And there's one organization I'd love to shout out, Rabbis for Human Rights over there. We met some.
Mm.
Man, these people are brave. They're taking it from all sides. So let's remember in our fervor for stopping the genocide and the horrors that are happening in our name, to remember that there are some Israelis that are trying their best to push against the narrative, which is everywhere. Walking through Jerusalem and some Israeli areas, didn't just go to Palestinian areas. I went to Israeli areas purposefully, ate in some Israeli restaurants, went to some of their bars, um, and it's as if there's nothing happening over there. They live in
Mm.
such a bubble. It was my feeling. No one was talking about 30 miles away the suffering in Gaza. No one's talking about the suffering on the other side of these walls. They don't go. They don't know each other.